It feels good on my throat, that's what I mean.
Okay, we're live.
All right. Welcome, everyone, to the City Council meeting for Monday, February the 10th, 2025. If we could have a roll call, Madam Clerk, to establish a quorum.
Susan Gruning? Oh,
Here.
Oh, perfect. David Avanzino?
Here.
Harry Meyer?
Yep.
Terry McClung?
I'm here.
Steve Holofield?
Here.
Stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, get a motion to approve the agenda.
So moved.
Second. Any additions, corrections? Hearing none, all those in favor of the agenda as submitted, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? So moved. And a motion to approve the minutes for January 27th.
I move to approve the minutes of January 27th, 2025.
Okay.
Second.
Any additions, corrections? Hearing none, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? At this point, we are going to go in and have discussion on the vacant city council seat election. Last time we went into an executive session, then we came back out. So if the council wants to do that and would entertain a motion to go into an executive session.
I move we go into an executive session.
Second.
Can you do that with her?
I'll call her.
Okay.
Yeah, so, all right, any further discussion? All in favor of going into an executive session, signify by saying aye.
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 All opposed? All right, so moved. All right, if the public would go out and we'll holler back at you when we get done. Shouldn't be too long, I don't think. No more than 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, my God.
See you tomorrow.
Okay, we're back on.
I move that we end our executive session.
Second.
All right, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we are now back into open session. We will, we have a couple of different ballots methods as opposed to what we talked about the last time. We have a ranked method where we're ranking our candidates. And then we also, well, first of all, there wasn't any decision made. So we're coming back into this open session to make a decision on the candidates. So, Mr. McClung?
I don't know what you want to do first, but I want to go ahead and make a motion to nominate Rochelle Moyer for the position.
Well, let's get a ballot basis first, I think, on there. Or, it's up to the council. I mean, it's how y'all want to.
I'm in favor of a ballot.
I mean, if we got a motion on the table, so if there's a second. All right. I'd like to decide whether or not we want to do the ballot or have it in a ranked system.
Can you explain the rank system again?
All right. Madam Clerk, you want to explain it?
See if I can explain it in a way.
Basically, I'll let the clerk also.
So ranked choice voting, you write the number and preference between one and four of who you would like to take the office to least. Whoever has the most number one votes obviously would get it off the bat. If there's not a quorum with number one votes, then we go to the second tier. So whoever was voted second most favored. And then if we have a quorum from there, that's who wins. If not, we go to the third and fourth tiers.
Is that understandable? Okay. So how does the council wish to proceed? Get a motion. Did I hear a motion? Was there a motion on there?
Yeah, I move that we do a ballot,
Just a regular ballot?
rank choice,
Okay.
first and
Okay,
fourth.
got a rank?
Second.
Okay, and got a second. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Susan, was that a yes?
Yes, I say aye, but how do I send mine in?
Ida will talk to you on the
Okay,
phone.
perfect.
Yeah. Now, these will be, you will have to sign the ballot, so, for Ida to keep in case somebody wants to know something. So, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So
No.
moved. All right, so.
Anyone need a pen? Does everyone have a pen?
Yes. So are we going to, sorry,
Susan, you might want to turn your speaker off when you're talking to Ida.
okay, but okay, I'll turn it off.
Okay, she's getting ready to call you.
Can Ida read off the names and then we write them down where we want to? So
They're already on there.
I don't have everyone's name specifically.
You should have,
It's 4 names on there.
Oh, I thought this was just a piece of scratch paper. I was going to do it on the back. But we're
look
prepared
on the other
tonight.
side.
That's amazing. We've never had this before.
Well, we got a new clerk.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going? No. Let's just go, you'll choose who you most want, number one, or second favorite, your third favorite. So who do you want as your number one? Okay, and your number two? Okay. So, got 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 4 is- You're locked in on your vote, or you want me to switch? It's completely up to you. That is completely up to you on your decision. You're fine. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna get out of here and we'll see you on the call. Is that everyone?
Got 5 of them?
Yep.
It's hovering just above.
To me, it feels like more like 15.
Sorry, I'm calculating. I'll announce them once I get calculated.
Need a calculator?
Nope.
Remember that bed I bought from you 10 years ago?
Yeah. I sure do. Sure do.
Cedar chest was really beaten up. I sanded it all down yesterday. So
Nice looking.
it's a little bad.
Nice looking. It's where they need to be. It's a good place for it, right
Yeah.
there.
Since I can't throw it over.
Sometimes I think I want to size down, you know, get a smaller piece. I don't know what I have to say. I don't know.
Start looking at all this stuff. I had stuff boxed up for 15 years before. And so that's when I decided to have an auction. I had a set.
Should have 20 of them.
I don't have to go past the fourth round because we have.
It's a big old house and then we had an apartment, big furnished. So all this stuff out here. Two
You want to double check me? So Janice has one person vote. Rachel has 3 number 1 votes.
See the number 1 on Janice.
Right here.
That's a 2.
That's a 1.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Rachel has 3 number 1 votes. And Terry has 1 number 1. Now, 2. Janice has 1. 3 number 2 votes. Rachel has 1. So she doesn't have a number 2. Rachel doesn't have any number 2 votes.
No. Got 2 3s. 3 1s.
She's at
So you guys do trivia out there Wednesdays?
3 versus 4 when we get to the number 2.
Tell Michael we should go.
It's actually, it started off with those. They have a good following. The deck is usually full.
She's got 1.
So, 1 number 1
How do you split up the teams?
and
They just come in.
Rachel has 3.
Can't be more than 5.
Change it from
At least 2.
So 3 2s, 4 2s.
Janice,
Yeah.
1, 2, 3 2s. And then 3 2s.
Oh, that's a 1. I
Yeah.
can't see. Okay, yeah. Okay.
And Rachel has 3 number 1s, only 3 number 1s, and no number 2s.
Okay. So that's good.
So we have 4 total votes, which is what we need.
So it's her.
Mhm.
Okay. All right. Looks like we have Janice Coletti is going to be the new council person.
Pardon me?
Janice Coletti. Is that pronouncing that right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
How does that,
How
did
does
she
that work
get
out?
4 number 1 picks?
No.
No. So
All right, so I don't get it.
do you want to switch to regular ballot then?
I mean, I don't understand how that works. It just doesn't make sense to me.
Nobody got 4
Then
number
how
1s.
can they be elected if they haven't got?
Nobody
4?
got 4 number 1s. Yeah.
Then then that
When
doesn't
you
make
did-
sense to me.
Go ahead. I'm going to.
So it's by ranked choice. So no one got the majority number 1 votes. So it went to the whoever got the most number 1 and the most number 2 votes.
Madam Clerk, is this
I don't see
a
how
recognized
that could do it
standard of voting?
It's in some states.
Okay.
And cities recognize this voting
May I ask you-
platform.
Okay, Forrest?
On ranked choice voting, you've got 4 candidates, you put down your vote, 1, 2, 3, 4. The person you don't want the most, you don't like, put 4. The one you like is 1. If nobody, and you count the votes. If nobody has a majority votes, then whoever had the fewest number 1 votes is scratched. But the number 2 votes for that person, whoever voted for that person, whoever they voted, their number 2 now counts into the total. If you still don't have a majority, you scratch out the 3rd place. Then you should be able to decide between the top 2, whoever got the most, number 1, after you scratch the ones who did not get elected. Does that make sense?
Quite frankly, I'd appreciate it if you'd explain that one more time. I'm not sure I got that either.
Okay, you got 1 through 4.
Yes.
Everybody votes 1 through 4
I'm
on the
with you.
candidates. If no one gets a majority vote, yeah, on the first ballot, then whoever got the fewest number 1 votes, they're eliminated. However, everybody who voted for that person for number 1, their number 2 choice is now added back into the top 3, looking for a majority vote. If nobody has a majority vote again, then you scratch out the number 3 person.
I see. I think I understand that.
And then their number 2 gets added back in. And then as soon as somebody gets a majority, that's over.
Okay. I think I understand that.
Would you like the breakdown of?
Is that, Forrest, come over here and get the legal opinion here.
Do we just want to do a ballot vote?
Nah, let's figure this one out first.
places have ranked choice voting. Yeah. California has ranked choice voting. It saves a lot of.
I think doing ranked voting, you could stack the deck by putting your second choices on the bottom. Someone you think somebody else is going to put them at the bottom of your list and get knocked out. I mean, that's stacking the deck, in my opinion. That's not good. Done the same thing, except I didn't know what the hell, I didn't understand it.
What I was afraid of is that we had a vote. Four of us would vote for a different person. One of the four had something that just had two votes.
Yeah. And then if you can't do it at 2 or 3, then you start over.
Would you feel comfortable going to type of
We've done it, let's move on. We've done it, let's move on.
So I hadn't, during this ranked order, this is the first time I've gone through this, and evidently I was, and with our help of our illustrious city attorney, it looks like Rochelle will be the new city council person. So I apologize, Janice, for saying that you're the one first, but after going through this, Rochelle received the majority of the number 1 votes on there. So with that said, we will take a 5, if I can go ahead, Mr. McClung.
I would just like to say that I would like to get some clarification from the state on how to do this if it ever happens again, because I you know, and I'm happy with the results because I, was nominating her anyway, but it just, I don't know. It seems like they should be getting 4 votes, and, that's just what it's required. But I understand it's a different process, but it's not a process that I favor. That's all. I just wanted to put that, that's all.
I don't think that we've ever done it this way before.
Yeah.
As far as I know.
Yeah, me
So,
neither,
yeah. But I will take a motion to go into recess for 5
So moved.
minutes.
Second.
All in favor, signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed?
We've ever had 4.
All right, Rochelle, I
Well,
will
that
swear you in if you want to come up here somewhere. I think I saw you here. So, we have All right, we can reconvene with our newest member. Welcome to the group, Ms. Moyer. We're glad you're here. Our next item of business will be we do have a vacancy in the commission for the Planning Commission, if anybody's out there interested in doing Planning Commission. And I would encourage anyone and all those who submitted an application for the City Council to consider joining the Planning Commission and one of the other commissions to start getting involved with city government and getting your feet wet a little bit. It's a great learning experience and through here. And then we also have, at this time, we have a Vivian Smith for nomination for the Hospital Commission. Ready for her to be voted on.
I nominate Vivian Smith for the Hospital Commission.
Second.
Any discussion?
Didn't get that.
Last meeting.
We did that the last meeting. Yeah. All right. All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? And so moved. This brings us to public comments, so we'll please limit it to 3 minutes.
Ken Fogo, 150 North Main. Brought you some handouts tonight. The first one is 3 Attorney General's opinions about abeyance on referendum. The next one is text of Article 5, Section 1. This is where y'all are denying myself and 100 and some odd people who signed the petition our constitutional rights. Few applicable state codes which state that it must be held in abeyance. On the back of that's the Eureka Springs referendums. And on the very last 2 pages, there's a 2024 Initiatives and Referenda Handbook from the State Attorney General's Office, the rules which you must abide by. And then on the very back is it looks like this is where we're at. I know that Mr. McClung had asked, what's our exposure here? Well, it sums it up in 1442-109. If the mayor, a member of city council, or any other elective officer of any city of the first or second classes or incorporated town in this state shall willfully and knowingly fail, refuse, or neglect to execute or cause to be executed any of the laws or ordinances within their jurisdiction, they shall be deemed guilty of nonfeasance in office. It shall be the duty of the circuit court of any county within which any officer may be commissioned and acting upon indictment charging any such officer with nonfeasance in office to hear and determine the charges. If upon hearing the charges are proved to be true, the court shall enter a judgment of record removing the guilty officers from office. That's where we're at. And I gave it to you in plain writing so you can read it yourself and decide. And there's also exposure with the city, I would say, in court, as far as court costs. Who didn't get one?
Thank you, sir.
All right, do we have any other public comments? All right, hearing none, we will go ahead and get into our business of unfinished business of sewer updates and get a motion to discuss.
Motion to discuss, please. Second.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. So as far as the sewer updates, we're still waiting on some UV bulbs and ballasts. Should be coming in any day now. We had a shipment that came in, about half of what we ordered was broken, so they rejected the shipment. We pulled the UV lights last week, and I was looking at them and realized that we're missing some sweepers that sweep the lights off and some of the motors and stuff that operate those, and we're getting that stuff ordered. And our influent flow gauge should be in any day now. I'm going to be meeting with McClellan later this week on the design updates for the plant. And at the next council meeting, we'll have the Act 605 information for you guys. And then I added some stuff in here as far as stormwater updates go, because stormwater can be considered sewage as well. So I met with Freese and Nichols out on Pendergrass Corner. When we have heavy rain events, the water runs down Spring Street, and sometimes it'll overtop those curbs. When I was out there with them, whenever that was done, they majorly undersized the drainage pipes that go under there. So we're looking at that, and we should have a proposal for you guys here pretty soon. What I'm working at is trying to get a grant from the state to redo that drainage. Yes, sir.
Is that the drain right there at the corner there where the cafe is and Zark's?
Yes.
Wasn't that all replaced
Somebody replaced it, but
just a few years ago?
I don't know when. It was before my
It
time.
hasn't been that long. That was all dug up and redone, wasn't it, Mayor? Yeah,
It was,
that was
but-
all.
But we're still getting a lot of flooding from up off of Eureka Alley. That's where the water's coming down and flooding into that. They still have, it's not draining good.
Also, I met with Freese and Nichols about doing an emergency operations plan for the two dams. We don't have emergency operations procedures on if we have a dam break, so they'll create a new one. It's kind of vital, in my opinion, that we do both the dams at the same time, because if we lose Black Bass Dam, there's a good chance we're probably going to lose Leatherwoods Dam. Other than that, I'll stand for any questions.
Did you know that there was an old study, may I? That there was an old study done of that a long time ago?
Emergency operation procedure?
Leatherwood Dam and what it would take to topple that dam?
I do have those reports. So one was done in 1994, and the
Yeah.
other one was done in like 2001.
Did you look and see what the requirements it was going to take? 12 inches of rain an hour for 24 hours to topple that.
That would be Leatherwood. So
That's
Black
Leatherwood.
Bass
It's
a little bit
144 inches of rain
Yeah.
in one event.
different. The problem is we got all that water behind the Black Bass Dam that they could complicate that. And, if we lose that dam, that's going to bring on that theoretical rain event for 24-hour amount of water coming down there.
That dam is to be replaced or repaired. Is that not correct? Isn't that still in the process?
Yeah, and we're working on that. I'm actually working with the state right now. We have some HUD paperwork that we need to fill out, and I'm waiting on my login credentials for that. So I think I'll have that here in the next day or two, that funding.
Tear it down.
All right. Anybody else have anything? All right. Mr. Holyfield, we've been talking about item number 2, unfinished business financing of the sewer plant. Does that still need to be on the agenda? Because we've got the loan.
I think we need at some point to talk about the options and things, but now we get the loan. Will the loan cover the whole amount?
Well, we're going to, hopefully within the month, 6 weeks at the most, we're going to have a workshop with engineers on the plan.
Right.
But that's not going to be on the financings. That'll be just on the sewer plant design.
It'll be on the design, not the finances?
Yeah.
How would the finances be decided then?
How will the
If
plan
it's
be?
$8 million, we get a $6 million loan.
That's what the engineers are estimating the cost of right now.
$6 million?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
I think so. Mr. McClung?
Are we any closer to getting our committee together to try and figure out ways to, alternative ways to try and repay? That what we had talked about months ago about doing? Do you recall? that
No,
you were
we
gonna set
haven't.
that up?
We got sidetracked with trying to get,
Somebody got sidetracked. We didn't.
I got sidetracked
Okay.
on there. And no, we have not, so we'll get there.
I like to see that be a workshop as well, not just a
Yeah.
committee.
And what I'm trying to do is figure out where we are with the engineers before we got the workshop on that. So I think we're at that point where we can get the committee together. So I'll go ahead and do that. Mr. Myers?
How about the rate study? How soon will we see that? Are we going to see that in our next workshop?
The next council meeting, they should be here for that.
End of this month.
I touched base with Zane. He said this at the end of the last council meeting of this month, they'll have everything here.
We might ought to have a workshop for that, huh? Because we're going to have to decide on rates.
Well, we won't be deciding on rates, but we will have probably a workshop on the rate study. Yeah, because that's pretty complicated.
Well, we got to decide on if we're going to go by the size of meters, if we're going to go by
That's
commercial.
We'll get into that.
That's part of that rate study. So, yeah.
All right. Anything else?
No, sir.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Okay, our next item of new business is update on the solar project performance. John Coleman's here with Integrity, so if we get a motion to discuss.
So moved.
Second.
All right. John, thanks for coming over, and you give us, and I know in your packet, you do have a lot of information that John's provided, so.
Yeah, does everyone has a copy of the report? Okay. I joked with the mayor when we presented it a couple weeks ago, is like any good engineers.
Need to raise the microphone a little bit and speak.
Sure, can you hear me? Okay.
Much better.
Yeah, I was joking with the mayor a couple weeks ago when we presented this, that like any good engineers, we turned a 3 or 4 page report into about 28 pages. So really good information in there. I'm going to try to distill it down into some of the basic high points, and then I can answer any questions that you might have. So just kind of a reminder on the project and what we did. Solar is obviously one of the highlights of the project, but we also did a number of energy efficiency measures, looking at about 73,000 square feet of the city-owned facilities, over 11 buildings. We implemented these measures between May of 2021 and March of 2022, and then we've been doing 2 years of measurement and verification over that period of time. So this is the final report of the 2 years of measurement and verification. As far as project summary goes, we did LED lighting retrofits across those facilities. We did the 375 kilowatt solar array that we built at the Berryville Industrial Park. That offsets electricity for your Carroll Electric accounts. So we only built the solar for Carroll Electric accounts and not the SWEPCO accounts. That's an important distinction. We did water conservation in across those same buildings that we did the LED retrofits. We also did HVAC controls, so smart thermostats, kind of like the one on the wall over there. Y'all are saving a lot of money in here tonight by having it set at 64. Commend you on that. We did some tune-ups of your existing HVAC equipment, and then we did a handful of HVAC replacement as well. If you look at page 3 in the report, that's where the real brass tacks of the summary exists. So we differentiate between what we originally guaranteed, the energy savings that we were guaranteeing on the project, versus what was actually realized on the project. So what we do each year is summarize the savings from each of those energy efficiency and water conservation measures, as well as the solar, and add that up and then compare it against what we were projecting as a guaranteed savings. The construction period, so in table 2, you can see our construction period. So what we did was we started implementing the LED lighting first, so you'd start gaining savings from that while we were doing everything else. So during the construction period, we realized $10,732 in savings, where we were projecting about $3,600 in savings over that period. In the year 1 performance period, we realized $37,164, and then year 2 performance period, $39,293. So over those 3 periods, a total of $87,189. compared to what our projection was of about $76,500. So all in all, the project is performing exactly like we had expected. So that's exciting and exactly what we wanted to see. As far as some of the detail, if you wanted to dig into some of the numbers, if you look at page 8, the energy analysis page, we listed out in a little more granular detail each of the buildings where we implemented measures, and then the associated electricity, natural gas, and water savings for each of those as well. So you can see the cumulative total over that period of time reaching $83,577. It gives you a little more granular detail as well. And then, and there are a number of associated charts in here that shows different baseline data, monthly data, et cetera. So you can go as deep as you want into the numbers on that. And then the other piece I think that is really interesting is if you look at page 12 in the energy analysis, you can see the production from the solar array as well. So we actually underperformed by a little bit in the construction period in the year 1 performance period. We had an inverter that wasn't functioning like we had expected, and so we had to do some ongoing maintenance to ultimately get that up to speed. But you can see in year 2, we actually outperformed what our projected production was for the year, and then we expect that to continue over time. The one kind of unique piece about the solar is that we own, operate, maintain the solar, and the only way we get paid is if it's producing. So it's really critical for us. All of the risk is on us to keep that up and running. And then we provide a quarterly bill to the city for the amount that we're generating. But for every kilowatt hour we generate, you're also getting savings off of your associated bills from Carroll Electric, so that's where the savings comes from. So even though this is the final measurement verification report, the bulk of the savings for this project really comes from solar and LED lighting, and we will be owning, operating, maintaining that solar for the 25-year term on the project. That makes sense? The agreement that we entered into. So it's performing well, and we expect that to continue and pick up over the next year. Yes, sir.
So the $87,000 over the 2+ year period.
Yes.
That's actual hard dollar savings.
Yes.
Correct?
Off of your bill savings, except for, so the one area where we stipulated was on the water savings. So when we did our energy audit, the water was pretty minimal on the project, but we went in and saw that you had like high flow fixtures in your sinks and high flow toilets, and we took a reading on what that consumption was, and then we used lower flow fixtures in those areas and just did a calculation and stipulated that savings. But on the electricity and gas, it is actual off the bill savings.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
It's a really promising project. These are always fun to present because they're performing well. I was telling Mayor too, when we presented, we actually had 3 other reports that came out around this time for Hope Public Schools, University of Arkansas, Hope Texarkana campus, and then Farmington School District, and they're all performing really well. So it's exciting to see.
I want to say one thing, and that is that it's great to see something that works.
Yeah.
It really, I'm glad that we took the initiative and followed through with it. It really is. That's great.
That's a great project. And even though this is the final report that we'll be presenting formally, Mayor Barry's got my contact info. I always like coming over to Eureka. I'm from Fayetteville, so it's fun coming over here. So yeah, if you ever have any questions or anything, you're always welcome to holler, and we can answer that. Yes, sir.
What is the lifespan of our solar array?
So there's a warranty period on the modules for 25 years, but really it's going to go 30 plus years, the expected life of the array. The agreement that we have is for a 25-year term.
Right, right. So we should, beyond the agreement, it should be working still.
So the way that the agreement works is that you get the benefit for the 25-year period of the array, and that's where the savings is calculated. The ownership would actually stay with us after that
Right,
period,
I've got it.
or with our financial partner.
Okay.
Any other questions or comments? John, thank you very much. Appreciate you
Absolutely.
coming over and
Thank you.
helping us out.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
All right, next item of business, it's ordinance to amend the tree preservation ordinance.
Motion to discuss?
Second.
All right, Mr. Almazina, I think this is at your request.
It is, thank you. So everyone, so many people and so much time was poured into this tree ordinance, and I want to, again, thank everybody that participated, that had input. It was a long process, and I'm happy with what we have. However, and before it gets, I don't want to say out of control, but before we see too much of it, there has been a couple of issues that were brought to my attention that, part of what we wrote in this ordinance was that a certified tree professional, whether that be an arborist or someone who's been trained with years of experience, if they give their opinion about a tree and what might happen if that tree falls or whatever the case may be, that we trust their opinion. I've now had 2 occasions where a certified arborist that has been doing this for decades has been employed to give their opinion on a tree. And only one instance so far, to my knowledge, where that person's expertise and knowledge was overturned by planning or BOZA regarding this tree. My ask is that we take a look at this ordinance and put in a clause that will allow, let me back up. The way the ordinance is currently written, a person who is denied tree removal has to take it to court. So additional attorney's fees, court costs, whatever the case may be. To me, that should not be the case. Like with anything else within the city, if something is denied, then they can come to the city council to listen to it again. If we think that it's not worthy of being denied, then we vote against it, or however we want to do that. I would just like for us to take a look at this and add that amendment that says that a citizen can repeal that decision to the city council.
Mr. McClung?
Yeah, I think we need to get some clarification from the city attorney as to if BOZA, if that's a route we can take. I don't know if it is, if there was a reason it was written that way in the first place, bypassing the city council. There may be something that, the state requires in that kind of respect. I don't know, but I agree. If not, then yeah, we need to address it.
Well, the point of this ordinance is that the appeal comes from the Board of Zoning Adjustment to the City Council. And that's the way it should be, because it was unclear who you appealed to or why. So this adds a procedure to it, similar to what the appeal is, the Board of Zoning Adjustment anyway. So does this accomplish what you...
Yes, I just want citizens that have an issue with the tree, if it's denied for whatever reason, after an expert has looked at it, like what we've asked, that they have the option of coming to us
Right.
for an appeal process other than attorney's fees, court costs, whatever the case
Yeah,
may be.
we're in agreement. Yes, that's what it should do. That procedure set up for a Board of Zoning Adjustment. I lifted that procedure, put it in here. That's what it says. If they wish to appeal a tree cut or denial of a tree cut, for example, they can come to the City Council, and if City Council turns it down, then they can appeal it. Yes.
Mr. McClung?
So you prepared this for us? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
You did prepare this for us for this purpose?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't know. I didn't know where
Well,
this came from.
Mr. Avanzino cited a case where a tree cut was denied.
Right.
But there was no clear appeal other than to sit to a court. Well, that's inappropriate, it costs money. If they can bring it to the city council has enough ability to weigh in on it, and if it's an appropriate cut, then, or appropriate, then good, we can end it here, and they don't have to go straight to a court.
If they don't like it, then they can take it to a court.
Then they can take it to a court,
They
that's
still
right.
have
Yeah.
court.
I make a motion, we assign the ordinance a number and read it for passage.
Second.
First reading. Put it on
You had
first
a
reading.
question, Ms. Meyer?
Just a comment. Yeah, it costs enough money to remove a tree, thousands of dollars sometimes, so this will help if there was a little problem, so I'm all for it.
Thank you.
All right, so I guess we have a motion to assign this number and read it
Put it on first reading.
on first reading. Any further discussion? All in favor, signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? That's so moved.
Assigning ordinance number 2369, an ordinance to amend tree preservation 7.56.040 to allow appeal procedures, whereas 7.56.040 needs to contain the procedures for appeal of the denial for a tree removal permit. Now therefore be it hereby ordained by the City Council of the City of Eureka Springs that the following appeal procedures be added to 7.56.040 application for tree removal permit. Section 1, all denials by the Board of Zoning Adjustment of a tree removal permit under 7.56.040 may be appealed to the Eureka Springs City Council by notification of appeal filed in writing by the property owner of or his or her representative within 30 days of the denial with the city clerk. The city clerk shall place the appeal on the City Council's next meeting agenda, occurring no sooner than 12 days after filing and no later than 45 days after filing. Section 2, the City Council by majority vote may uphold, modify in whole or in part, or reverse the decision of the Board of Zoning Adjustment. City clerk shall notify the building official and the property owner or his or her representative of the council's action within 3 business days. Notification shall be in writing and shall be by hand delivery or United States mail. Depositing notification, postage prepaid in the United States mail shall be considered completed notification. Section 3, denials of an appeal by the City Council shall be appealable to any court of competent jurisdiction as otherwise provided by law.
Mr. McClung?
I'd like to make a motion to approve ordinance number, what was that number again?
2369?
2369 by title, to approve it on its first reading.
Second.
All right, Mr. McClung made the motion. Mr. Avanzino to approve ordinance number 2369, its first reading. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? So moved. Okay. We will continue this at our next meeting.
Do you have Terry?
Yep. You want, Mr.
No,
McClung?
let's move ahead. I'd like to make a motion that we suspend the rules and read ordinance number 2369 for its second reading by title only.
Second.
Second.
All right.
Basis for that is that there's an emergency clause at the bottom, so they're going
Correct.
to get it
Yeah,
through. So.
yes.
Okay. Okay, the motion is second to read this for second reading. Any further discussion? A roll call?
Steve Holofield,
Yes.
Terry McClung,
Yes?
Susan Girding.
Herb may have been froze up. Her machine may have froze up. I don't know.
Yes.
Oh, there she is.
Harry Meyer.
Yes.
Is it Rochelle? Yes. Okay, I just want to make sure I got that. Rochelle Moyer? Yes. David Avanzito?
Yes.
Ordinance number 2369, an ordinance to amend tree preservation 7.56.040 to allow appeal procedures.
Mr. McClung?
I'd like to make a motion, we approve ordinance number 2369 on its second reading.
Second.
Mr. McClung made the motion to approve ordinance 2369, second reading. Mr. Avanzino seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Harry Meyer,
Yes.
David Avanzino,
Yes.
Steve Holofield,
Yes.
Susan Grunning,
Yes.
Terry McClung,
Yes.
Rochelle Moyer.
Mr. McClung?
I'd like to make a motion, we suspend the rules and read ordinance number 2369 for its third and final reading by
Second.
title only.
Second.
Motion been made, Mr. McClung, and Mr. Avanzino seconded to read ordinance 2369 by title only. Further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
David Avanzino,
Yes.
Steve Holofield,
Yes.
Harry Meyer,
Yes.
Rochelle Moyer, Susan Grunning,
Yes.
Terry McClung.
Yes.
Ordinance number 2369, an ordinance to amend tree preservation 7.56.040 to allow appeal procedures.
Yes. You want to?
I move that we approve ordinance 2369 on its third reading.
Second.
All right. Mr. Meyer made the motion to approve 2369 on its third and final reading. Mr. Avanzino seconded. Any further discussion? Hearing none, roll call.
Terry McClung,
Yes.
Harry Meyer,
Yes.
David Avanzino,
Yes.
Rochelle Moyer,
Yes.
Steve Holofield,
Yes.
Susan Grunning.
Yes.
I move that we
Go ahead.
read the emergency clause,
Invoke or read?
Invoke.
Invoke.
invoke the emergency.
Second.
All right. Mr. Myers made the motion to invoke the emergency clause, and Mr. Avanzino seconded. Any further discussion? Okay, roll call.
Rochelle Moyer,
Yes.
Steve Holofield,
Yes.
Terry McClung,
Yes.
David Avanzino,
Yes.
Susan Grunning,
Yes.
Harry Meyer.
Yes.
Emergency clause, section 4, that due to the need to consistently apply all laws and ordinances of the city of Eureka Springs, Arkansas for the health and safety of the citizens of the city, emergency is hereby declared to exist, and this ordinance shall take effect upon passage by the Eureka Springs City Council, signing by the Eureka Springs Mayor and City Clerk Treasurer, posting of the ordinance.
Thank you all.
Thank you, everyone.
That concludes our normal business for meeting for February the 10th. So anything on the agenda setting? All right, that'll lead us into city council comments. Ms. Gruning, I'm going to start off with you out in Zoom land.
Okay, thank you. So I want to welcome Rochelle. Congratulations. That's pretty exciting. And other than that, I have been out of town, so I really don't have a whole lot more right now.
All right. Mr. McClung?
Yeah, a couple of things. One, I'd like to know the status of the hospital report from the state. I haven't heard anything. Maybe you haven't heard anything. Also, I would like for you sent us the financials for the hospital, and I appreciate that. And I just thought it might be a good idea for you to check with the banks and confirm all that. If you tell me the money's there, I believe you.
The money's, as far as I know, the money's there.
Well, that's why I say, maybe you might call the bank and just, I don't know. Maybe it's been a little bit overprotective, but sorry. And then the second thing is, I would like people to start thinking about a 1-cent sales tax for water and sewer infrastructure. That may be an avenue that we have to take to help reduce that debt and make it so it can't be removed for any or used for any other thing like happened before when we had that sales tax and it got diverted to other projects and got put into the general fund. So I think that's something that we're going to have to look real hard at, and that may be an avenue. No one likes sales tax, but, you know, we got some tough decisions to make ahead of us. That's all I have.
Mr. Meyer?
I don't know if we can actually spend tax money on the sewer plant because of the Act 605. It's supposed to be self-supporting, but okay. I'm disappointed at the hospital again because after we had the chair of the commission come, she didn't mention that they were going to fire a long-standing medical director and another staff member that's been there 15 years. They're just gutting the place. That's all.
Ms. Moyer?
I have no comments at this time.
Good answer.
I appreciate the opportunity to serve.
Glad you're here.
Happy to be here.
Mr. Avanzino?
Yes, first of all, welcome, Rochelle.
Thank you.
It's going to be a time to get used to not Rachel, but Rochelle. So give me just a minute. So welcome. Also, just on a bit of a personal note, to all the people that have brought by an abundance of food after my surgery for my neck, I can't begin to tell you how much it is appreciated. Number one, I don't cook. And number two, it's gotten my husband off the hook. So thank you all so much. It's been amazing. And lastly, I just want to say that there's a lot of things going on in this world today that a lot of us think are crazy, whether you agree with it or not. If you find yourself getting overwhelmed or exhausted or whatever the feelings may be, lean on your friends. There are people that are willing to talk to you, support you, whatever you need. So when that comes up, you're not alone. Reach out to someone.
Mr. Holyfield?
I'd also like to welcome Rochelle. It's great having you here and have a full council again. CAPC, no workshop this month, but we will have our regular meeting on February 26th at 6 p.m. And we did receive sad news that Lord Joe Smalley passed away this past week, who had been a member of this council a few years ago. And it's always sad to hear one of our neighbors is gone, but she will be remembered. So thank you.
Yeah, we've had several deaths in the last week or so with Lord Joe and Whip Britton and another one too. So our prayers and sympathies go out to the families on there. Regarding the Eureka Hospital, as Mr. McClung's wanting to know, Thursday, February 6th, we received positive feedback from the state on the last survey, and the state confirmed that the hospital is now in compliance with all the CMS regulations. And as of last week, the hospital also went off the trauma divert and now has the blood bank fully stocked. So I thank the staff and the commissions for all the hard work they've been doing and getting this ready and going on there. So we should be getting, start getting some other reports, good news back from them. As far as things coming up, we've got the Mardi Gras season. It's about to start up, and we're going to be having the Coronation Ball. We'll be at the Crescent Hotel Friday, February 21st from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m. This ball is always a magic atmosphere with a lot of elegant decor and live music and the vibrant spirit of the Mardi Gras. And we're also proud to announce that the fans of country music, Marty Stewart and his fabulous superlatives, are returning to Eureka Springs Auditorium on Friday, February 21st at 7:30 p.m. And last but not least, we have the Mardi Gras Night Parade, Saturday, February 22nd from 6 p.m. Parade route is going to be starting from the library down to the courthouse. So be there and be a lot of excitement going on in through there. So we're all here, and I want to congratulate Ms. Moyer for being a newest member of City Council, and I'm looking forward to working with you and getting your suggestions and help with on the city. So thank you very much for doing. And I want to thank all the applicants that did supply an application for City Council. I think you are to be commended for that. Unfortunately, we only had one position to be filled because we had some great applications. So you all did a great job. But I would encourage you to go ahead and look at some of the other commissions and fill out an application for there. So with that said, I'll take a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.